to Let's Talk Kentucky and a happy Friday. I'm your host and moderator, Sherelle Roberts. We're joined by the Let's Talk team. It's Susan Mills, Asana McMullen is in for Kim Dixon, and Lisa. Hi. Hey, everybody.
Hi. Welcome, Asana.
Thank you. Welcome back. So, Asana, you were our guest at the table maybe about a month ago, so we're so glad to have you here. She wowed us as a guest, so we said, let's
gotta have her back.
Bring her back to the table. So we are glad to have you here. And as promised, it's going to be an extra spicy show today, so she's ready to jump in.
Yeah.
She's not afraid of the spice. All right, first up, talk of the town. Today is the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month. This is when Hispanic history and culture take center stage across the U.S. For this month, it runs from the 15th of September to the 15th of October. And it recognizes the contributions of Hispanic Americans. They're the fastest growing racial or ethnic minority, according to the census. So to celebrate, the Smithsonian Institution in D.C. is offering a slate of activities which lift up Hispanic heritage, and its National Portrait Gallery will be teaming up with Little Libros, a bilingual children's book publisher, for the Second Photos and Recuerdos Festival. There will be story time, arts, crafts, workshops, and gallery tours. And the U.S. Postal Service has put its own stamp on the occasion. Earlier this month, the agency released new Forever stamps featuring piñatas, which are the homemade party favorites typically associated where you blindfold your guests and give them that thing and take a crack at it. But Susan's afraid of those, right?
Well, for good reason. I got whacked in the head one time. I'm like, I'll just take my safe distance.
Yeah, but happy Hispanic Heritage Month to everybody out there.
Yeah,
really fun.
Worth
We'll
celebrating.
look for some ways to celebrate that on the show throughout the month. It'll be really good. All right, also, talk of the town, the Harlem Globetrotters are coming to Lexington next year. It'll be on January 12th. They'll play a game and show off their skills in Rupp Arena. Tickets will range from $37 to $139, and they'll be available at Ticketmaster.
Oh my goodness.
Man, it's gonna be fun.
I know it will be. My brothers were obsessed with the Harlem Globetrotters when we were growing up. It's so funny. And my dad actually took them to a game up in Cleveland when they played there. And it's just so much fun. It just brings back such fond memories. I don't know how long they've been together, but it's been, a long time. And, the team obviously has evolved over the years, but all the trick plays and everything, it's just so much fun. They have a great time.
Yeah. Asana, are you going to take your little one to go?
Listen, I don't know if it's going to be a fight with him, not allowing him to get on the floor and play with them. So I don't know. It sounds like a good idea, but, we'll have to talk about it with Dad and see what he says.
Yeah. I have never gone. I am kind of intrigued. I remember when I did not play basketball growing up. I did take a basketball class in college, so my skills did improve. But I remember as a kid always trying to spin the ball. I could never get it. And I would be so annoyed when I would see the Harlem Globetrotters doing it so easily, because it was just like, what's wrong with my finger?
I was able to get to bounce the ball between my legs. Though.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I could never do the spin, but the Harlem, they incorporate trampolines and stuff like that in there. Did your brothers ever do that?
No, thank God. They've done a lot of other things, but that was one thing they didn't do.
Oh my God, funny.
But yeah, they, the spinning of the ball, I remember they would pass it to other people
Yes.
too. I'm like, I can't even get it to spin on my finger single-handedly, let alone passing it along. So I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that one. Maybe we'll have our own skills challenge. We'll see. Finally, the Christian Appalachian Project will be hosting a walk to raise awareness about food insecurity in eastern Kentucky. So how about this? In Appalachia, 1 in 5 children are food insecure. So this annual event brings together schools, churches, local businesses, college, and community members to raise funds and to collect some non-perishable food items to support pantries in Rockcastle, McCreary, and Magoffin counties. It's going to take place on September 21st, and it's going to be all over Kentucky. It's going to be in Mount Vernon, downtown on East Main Street from 10 to 11, in Lexington at Lexington Christian Academy from 10 to 11, in Whitley City at McCreary County Park and Fairgrounds from 10 to 11, and Prestonburg, the gazebo near the campus walking trail on Burt Combs Drive from noon to 1. So lots of opportunities for people to get involved.
That's really cool. It's a great organization too.
It is.
And
it is.
1 in 5
I know
That's a staggering
disheartening.
statistic.
It is, it is. And it's so important to raise awareness about that as well. So this is great. I love how they're coordinating this all across the region.
Yes,
Yeah.
so everyone has an opportunity
That's
to
right.
join in.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that as well because, you know, sometimes when we have events, big cities like Lexington or Louisville or Bowling Green, right, they get attention, and then smaller
That's right.
places get left out. So
Yeah.
I really do appreciate that they're doing that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everybody, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we promised you a spicy countdown combo, and boy, do we have one. We're kicking it off with this topic, bra or no bra. Do we actually need it? Let's talk about it.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
Everybody knows that for over 20 years, North Broadway Auto Sales has been the best place to buy a used car. You know the slogan, at North Broadway Auto, everybody rides. But what you may not know is North Broadway Auto Sales also buys cars. If you have a car, truck, van, or SUV and it's in running condition, we want to buy it. Any automobile, any make, any model, any year, any color. At North Broadway Auto Sales, if it runs, we want it. On New Circle Road, North Broadway Auto Sales, 293-2353.
When Daniel Cameron says he absolutely supports bringing back Matt Bevin's ruthless Medicaid plan, Cameron threatens to take away coverage from over 95,000 Kentuckians and punish working parents.
This sounds very similar to something that Governor Matt Bevin tried.
Well, absolutely.
But when Cameron said he'd back Bevin's war on teachers and take taxpayer money from public schools to give to private schools instead, he'd punish Kentucky's kids. Cameron's absolutely wrong for Kentucky.
Want a flatter, tighter tummy? Then check out new Ab EX from Sono Bello.
Doctor, after my pregnancies, my body just never bounced back. I had this stomach overhang that made me really self-conscious.
It's not your fault. That stubborn fat and excess skin is very difficult to get rid of with diet and exercise alone.
That's exactly why I went to Sono Bello. I really trust their team of experts, and I finally got the flat stomach I had always wanted.
Introducing Ab EX from Sono Bello. Remove fat and lose excess skin permanently in just one visit.
Ab EX is a great alternative to a tummy tuck because that overhang you mentioned becomes flat and tight fast with minimal downtime.
Schedule your free, no obligation consultation now to learn more about Ab EX by Sono Bello. Call 1-888-507-8988 or go to sonobello.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. It is time for an extra spicy countdown conversation. This is the part of the show where we discuss as many topics as we can in 6 minutes. First up, bra or no bra. So bras actually invented by men, worn daily by women. And boy, I'll tell you, it is the most hated piece of clothing that we wear. As soon as we get in the house, boom, it's
Even
gone.
before we get to the house, we're like in the car driving trying to take that thing off. It's crazy.
It's got to go. And so, I mean, it's an oppressive piece of clothing. Let's just be clear about that. And so there were some women discussing on the internet, do we actually need to wear a bra? Like, if you don't want to wear one, should the societal norms of telling you to keep that thing on, should they hold you to being held up? Because people say that you've got to cover your parts.
Yes, yeah. You know what? Honestly, I mean, let's be real. We're going to keep it real here. Nips.
Yes, nips.
Can be distracting.
Yes.
I mean, they really can be. So if you're doing a professional presentation and the headlights are on, it's going to be distracting. So I think you do have to have, times where it is appropriate to wear.
Asana.
I mean, it depends on the setting, right? Because I wouldn't want my headlights on in a professional setting.
Right.
But if I'm out with my girls, we're hitting the club, depends on the outfit. It may, bra may not be warranted. So just depends on where I'm going.
Well, I think there's a time and place for it. If you're going to church, I feel like, you may want to tuck them in. But, you know, I had a doctor one time because I have cysts and ongoing lumps and bumps, and I had a guy doctor, of course, tell me that maybe I should consider sleeping in a bra to combat this. And I'm like, if there is one time that I am not going to, it's going to be in bed. So, no, thank
it's
you.
a no for me. So I am actually pro headlights. I do think that if you don't need to wear a bra and you don't want to wear a bra, you don't have to do it all the time. And so I was raised by a very proper mother, so proper undergarments were always very important. And so like last summer I wore one of those stick-on bras, and it was so hot I was sweating, the bra was sliding down my side. And I said, never again. I said, if I don't need it, I don't need it. So time and place, but as for me, the headlights are on. Sometimes. All right, so up next, girl toy, boy toy. So some folks get very particular about letting their kids only play with the toys that are gender specific or gender appropriate for them. Is this old fashioned? Is this necessary? And so take a look at this little setup. So this particular living room with all toy things in it was for a little boy. Refrigerator, kitchen, stove, mop, everything. Some folks will say that's for girls. Thoughts, y'all?
Oh, well, I don't agree with that by all means. But you know, honestly, I don't think it matters either way what toy a child plays with. I think, you know, to me, it's entirely up to number one, the child as they get older. But you know, when babies are born and parents want to assign a certain color or a certain toy to those children, I don't think it's also a negative thing either. I don't see any negative cons to that. As the child gets older, if they want to play with other toys, like I grew up playing with my brother's toys, and they played with mine sometimes, mostly destroying my toys, but they did play with it sometimes too. So I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's odd to place negative connotations on toys, right? So if, you know, my child wants to play with a specific toy, I would love the idea of evolving in that. Being curious about the toy, how it works. I think it develops fine motor skills, social skills, and allowing them to see through a different lens, a perspective. You know, we often hear that men are less emotional and nurturing. Well, where would they learn those skills if we don't first allow them to implement those or explore those as children?
Good point.
You know, I think so many times, especially when we're talking about boys, little boys, young men, that people will say they don't want them to play with girl toys because they feel it will somehow affect their sexual orientation. And I think that this kind of toxically masculine idea about what makes you a man or what even affects your toys affecting your sexual orientation, I think this idea is just so dangerous. And speaking to Asana's point, it's not giving them the opportunity to develop into full humans.
Yeah, I agree with that. So with Alex, we did so much play therapy with him, and he went through a phase where he was obsessed with Ariel, the Little Mermaid. So he had all these little mermaid toys and stuff that he would play with in the bathtub, and I was like, it's a mermaid, which is usually deemed to be a girl's toy, but he was having so much fun, and I was so excited that he was actually playing with this toy. So I was like, whatever you want, dude, I'm gonna give it to you. I feel like there's this this negative connotation with, you know, boys playing with girls' toys, but not necessarily girls playing with boys' toys.
That's true.
You know, and I think that's really weird. I had tons of cars and trucks, more so than dolls growing up.
Oh, Lord, we only have 30 seconds left. We do not have time to queue up this next one.
Next week.
Next week? We'll talk about it next week. Okay, so we are going to just dip out of that because we need to talk about AI drones.
Yes, we do.
So we are going to dip out of that, and we are going to talk about it on Monday because, buddy, that one needs a whole conversation. So everybody stay with us. Coming up after the break, joining us at the table will be Ann Domworth from the Lexington Public Library.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meats.
Next ET, TV's #1 show heads to CBS.
This show has really hit a nerve with a lot of people.
The big change is coming for Yellowstone next ET.
Tonight at 7 on ABC 36.
Time to turn talk into action. Step 1, fire up your BetMGM Sportsbook. Step 2, make your pick. And step 3, showtime. Now that hunch has some weight to it. Every play, every game means something more. Because now, you're betting with the king of sportsbooks.
What will you experience at the Kentucky Horse Park?
Watch live shows and see unique breeds.
Meet racing champions and derby winners.
Explore equine history. Hop on board. And get in the saddle. The gates are open and the horses are waiting. Plan your visit at kyhorsepark.com.
Whoa! Big news! DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to Kentucky. You'll be so dialed into every play that you forget to eat your wings. You made my wings cold, DraftKings. Flailing your arms like you can disrupt the free throw. Miss, fool! And a home run will have you crying like it's the birth of your child. I'm so happy.
DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to Kentucky. New customers, download the app now to get $200 in bonus bets when we go live. Because life's more fun when you're in on the action. The crown is yours.
Yeah.
The man of the hour has arrived.
Let the journey begin.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. We've got the Let's Talk team here. Filling in for Kim Dixon is Asana McMullen. And our guest at the table is Ann Donworth. She's the Director of Development and Marketing and Communication with the Lexington Public Library. And she's here to talk to us about Undesign the Red Line.
Yes.
Hey, welcome in, Ann.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We are so glad to have you. I'm not going to lie, the library is one of my fave places, so very excited to have you here. Now, this exhibit, Undesign the Red Line, delves into the history of redlining. For folks who don't know, redlining is a discriminatory practice that systematically denied housing opportunities and financial support to Black and minority communities. Basically, banks, the city, and realtors work together to say we will not loan to Black and brown people in these neighborhoods, and we will not sell houses to Black and brown people in these neighborhoods. And this went on for years and years and years and years. So tell us a little bit about the exhibit.
Yeah, so it actually was also sanctioned by the federal government.
Yes, it was.
The federal government wouldn't insure the banks or the mortgages in certain areas.
Wow.
So it obviously led to a lot of disinvestment. It meant that people couldn't buy their homes. They couldn't build that equity that they then used to, educate their kids, pay for college. It also meant from the public side of things, property taxes weren't as high because the properties weren't as valuable. So it led to a lot of disinvestment in schools, parks, neighborhoods, streets, sidewalks, libraries, all of these other things that come along with homeownership were hurt for members of the Black and brown community. And it's something that, even though the practice itself has been outlawed, it was outlawed in 1968, I think, it still has impacts today.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. It's a trickle effect on everything. Redlining is something that people don't think about happening in their neighborhood. So what do you think the impact is going to be on the redlining exhibit, like within our community itself?
For us, our hope is that people better understand why. We look back at some of the local maps. It was areas, it's the north side of town, East End, areas where we see a lot of gentrification and issues happening now. Kind of understands why and how we got to this point, and also why some members of the Black community are so hurt. They were systemically kept out of economic benefit of homeownership, and so hopefully our hope is that people will understand better and have a little bit more empathy and be able to come to a solution.
Yeah, absolutely.
So will the exhibit offer modern day solutions for redlining?
It's really designed to foster conversation. So I like to say we are not making a policy recommendation from the library. We want people to have that information. We hope that we can foster some discussion. And ultimately, there are people in City Hall and other areas that can make some change, but ultimately it's about being good neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are some other events that are tied in with Undesign?
So there are going to be a whole lot of different series. We're actually hosting a community reads now, which means we're inviting everybody to come in and read the same book together. It's Richard Rothstein's The Color of Law, which talks about redlining history. We are doing a series of moderated discussions. It's a dense book. You don't have to read it all at once. But we're also doing things like workshopping for first-time home buyers, helping people understand how they might be able to get assistance doing that. A whole series of different things that go on.
It's such a complicated process. It really, really is.
This is why the library is one of my favorite places, because you guys are tackling an issue that not only is historically important, but it's contemporarily important, because Lexington is redrawing its urban service boundary right now. And there are so many racialized issues, so many issues related to redlining that even affect our current geography and our current urban service boundary. So I love that you all are educating the public historically so that they understand what's going on now, because we don't have the city we have right now by accident.
Well, and to love Lexington is really to try to understand our history, you know, too. And this is such a large part of our history, and we need to move forward and make like significant steps forward to make our city even better.
Yes, absolutely. So for folks who want to read the book, Color of Law, which is a good one, go see the exhibit, or just hang out at the library because it's cool. What should they do? Where can they go?
They can check out the book online. They can check it out at any of our 6 locations. The actual exhibit opens next Friday, the 22nd. It will be open during the library's regular operating hours, so you're welcome. It's at Central Library. So you are welcome to come there anytime. It is free, of course, as all of our programs are. And check out the book and come visit us.
Yeah. Well, Ann, thank you so much for dropping by. I'm so excited about this exhibit, and we're always happy to have you. Come back, okay? Okay. You're welcome back. All right, everybody, stay with us. Coming up after the break, we'll highlight our woman we're talking about. Stay with us.
Let's Talk Kentucky is brought to you by Critchfield Meat.
Hi, I'm Lee Trevino. Most people know me for winning 6 PGA championships. With my bum knee, I started thinking I was going to have to trade my club in for a cane. Then I discovered Arthritis Knee Pain Centers.
Arthritis Knee Pain Centers has cutting-edge image-guided treatments that place a natural lubricating gel directly into your affected joints. This FDA-approved, non-surgical procedure replenishes the missing cushioning fluid to provide you with pain relief, comfort, and improved mobility without surgery or downtime. It's covered by Medicare and most private insurance. We've helped relieve the pain for thousands of our patients.
Arthritis Knee Pain Centers relieve my pain and change my life. They got me back in the game again, baby. Call them now and schedule your free knee pain assessment. Get the pain relief you deserve today.
In Lexington, call 800-963-0478. That's 800-963-0478.
K-A-T-S, Cats, Cats, Cats.
I'm Marty Casey with Cats Heating and Cooling. If your system stops cooling your home this summer, remember to call Cats for 24-hour emergency service. We know emergencies just don't happen during business hours. Cats will keep your system running smoothly, keeping you comfortable all year long. When you need us, we're just a phone call away any time of day. Cats proudly carries day and night HVAC systems.
K-A-T-S, Cats, Cats, Cats.
Visit online or call today to schedule your free appointment.
Hi, this is Joseph with Rapid Fire Home Buyers. Do you have a house that's costing you too much time and money? Maybe a rental house, an inherited house you don't know what to do with, or the house you're living in that you just can't keep up with. We buy property in any condition and any price range all over the Southeast. Sell your house as is for cash with no repairs, no fees, and no commissions. If you're even thinking of selling your house, before you call a realtor, give us a call for a free cash offer. Call 859-695-3875.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Kentucky. It's time for What in the World is Trending, and today is a worldwide thing. Today at sunset marks the start of Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, which translates from Hebrew to mean the head of the year, is widely considered the Jewish New Year. It begins at sunset today and continues through sundown on Sunday, September 17th. Rosh Hashanah is often treated as a time to reflect on the previous year and focus on the hopes for the coming year. So everybody, Shana Tova to all who celebrate. And it is time to highlight our woman worth talking about. Our woman we're talking about is Shoshi Litvin. She is the co-director of the Shabbat of the Bluegrass. Shabbat of the Bluegrass is a Jewish organization providing social, educational, recreational, and spiritual programming for students and community members in the greater UK Lexington area, so right there on campus. Shoshi worked with the Department of Education, assisting special needs students in their schooling, and has worked as a coordinator for leadership for the Friendship Circle. So Shoshi Litvin, you are a woman worth talking about.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes. So, I mean, I really wanted to highlight her, especially on Rosh Hashanah. So, her husband is Rabbi Shlomo, I believe it's Shlomo Litvin, and he is very, very active in the community and very active in doing kind of cross-cultural education and cooperation and talks. You'll see him at a church, you'll see him at a synagogue, you'll see him at the community, you'll see him at a political event. He's just out there doing great things, and she's by his side doing that work as well.
That's really important, too. It all comes down to education, too. I mean, once again, just as much education as we can have, the more understanding we have, and that's when we get more love.
Yeah. You know, really, cross-cultural, which is why we try to highlight it on the show so much, like cross-cultural education is really important, because when we understand our differences, then we can see what really makes us so much alike.
Yes.
And honestly, we're all so much more alike than we are different.
We really are.
Right?
Yeah.
We're trying to go to school, go to work, raise our kids, you know.
Keep our head above water.
Exactly. Keep our head above. Exactly.
Yeah.
So really excited to highlight her. Now we want to highlight other women we're talking about. You guys have been doing an amazing job of nominating women. So we want to remind you, go to our website. It's WTVQ.com, and then click on the Let's Talk page. Then when you get there, there's a link. You can nominate a woman we're talking about. You know, so often, Susan, people think, oh, it has to be like some spectacular superstar in our community.
No. Nominate your grandma.
Exactly.
That's right.
Your mom, sister, whatever.
Somebody who makes amazing cookies in your neighborhood.
Yes.
I mean, if they're making a difference to you, that's who we want to hear about.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
Asana, thank you so much for filling in with us
You
today.
did a great job. Thank you for having me. It's great.
We're going to have you back.
All right.
All right, everybody. Happy Friday. We will see you on Monday.